Hello and welcome to another English composition video. In this video, you're going to learn how to set up an MLA formatted paper using Google Docs or Microsoft Word. MLA stands for the Modern Language Association. If you're taking an English or humanities class, the instructor will often expect you to compose papers using MLA citation style. On the other hand, if you're taking a nursing class or a psychology class, they may expect you to use APA formatting. That's from the American Psychological Association. There's also the Chicago Manual of Style and quite a number of other formatting styles out there that vary based upon discipline. But in this video, we're just going to talk about how to set up the MLA format using a template. We just have to make a couple changes to the template. So let's get right into that. All right, so let's go ahead and get into this. You want to click New, and then don't click Blank Document. Instead, over here where it says Search for Online Templates, or Templates, however you want to say it, type MLA. You know, it's pretty cool. They've got an APA template in there too if you use APA in another class. Okay, so click the one that says MLA Style Research Paper, and then Create. Now, as you can see, go ahead and X out of that. A lot of this is already set up, right? So you just add your name in there, right? And then the instructor name, that's going to be me. I don't need the section number here, right? You can just put English 101. The date should be MLA formatted. So it's going to go day, abbreviated month, year. Okay, or you could put the due date instead. I just put the day that I made the video. Okay, now we're going to go up here, see where it says last name. That's called the header because it shows up at the top of each of the pages. I want to edit that, so I'm going to double click here, and I'm going to type, well, it's going to be your last name is what's going to go here. So if your last name is Smith, then you would just type Smith. All right, so I'll just type that. Don't mess with the page number, right? Because we need that to stay like it is. Do you see how it counts up on each page? That's exactly what we want, and it's going to put your last name at the top of each page. Okay, now you can just delete all this stuff. You don't need any of this. Okay. We could type a title. You'll come up with a better title than that. Come up with something interesting and fun. Okay, now this is not formatted properly. It's out of date MLA, so just delete that. Delete all of this thing here. Just delete this little thing here. There. All right, so this is where you're going to type your paper, right? So you'll indent the first line of each paragraph, of course. Right. Now we're just going to do one more thing, and then the paper's going to be just about ready to go. So we're going to go, we need to do insert and then page break. So insert, I'm not sure you can see it because of this thing. Hang on a second. There we go. Insert page break. Now see what that does is no matter what you type here, you know, you can type here for days and days and days and days, blah, 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 right? But we're still going to have this page break here so that whatever we type here is going to stay at the top of the last page, and that's what we want. I'll show you why. Go in here. This is alignment of text. Center the text and type works cited. All right, that's where your works cited entries are going to go. The other assignments some of the other assignments in this week's module are going to help you learn how to create proper works cited entries for each of the sources you use in your rhetorical analysis paper. You'll also learn how to create in-text citations when you use quotes or facts from those sources in the body of the paper. But now you've got an MLA formatted paper. All this stuff is exactly what MLA expects and requires, including the works cited page on the last page. The only thing I ask you to do that's not MLA is to include the word count after you've finished writing the paper. That's just designed to ensure that you meet the word count requirements. You should always be double checking the assignment directions for that, because if you submit papers that are under the required word count, there is a stiff penalty. Those papers usually fail. All right, now let's talk about how to set up an MLA formatted paper using Google Docs. Now, as you can see, when I go to my Google Docs screen, it offers MLA for me right here, right? But that's because I've used it. So when you open your Docs screen, you might not see that template there, and that's okay. Just click Template Gallery, and you can just scroll down until you find MLA. Okay, there it is right there. So go ahead and click on it. And now we've got the beginnings of an MLA formatted paper. There's EasyBib. I do not endorse any citation machine. EasyBib is decent, but any citation machine you use, you are responsible for ensuring that it produces proper citations. And all the other module materials this week are designed to help you understand how citations work, so that hopefully you won't need a citation machine. If you do choose to use one, again, it's on you to make sure that it's giving you proper citations. Okay, so as you can see, this is pretty straightforward. Just change everything, right? It's already double spaced. It's already got the right margins, all right? They've even got the MLA formatted date there. That's kind of nice, right? So you could just change it to the due date whenever it's due. Now, as you can see, though, up here, this isn't correct. It's just a page number, and we also need your last name there. So what I just did, sorry, I went kind of fast, double-click there, and just add your last name, right? So if I was the student, I would put Sanger, but I'm not you. So if your last name is Smith, type Smith. So it would just be student last name. Do not mess with the page number. See, so I just double-clicked to get out of there, because as you can see, this is what's called a header. So now at the top right of each page, it's going to have your last name and the page number. That's exactly what we want. Beautiful, beautiful. The only thing I ask you to do that is not MLA is to include the actual word count here after you have finished writing the paper. And do that to ensure that you reach the required word count. All 4 of the major papers have a required word count. You need to check the assignment directions to make sure that you meet it. If you submit a paper that is under the minimum word count, the highest score it can receive is 70%, and the vast majority, probably like 98% of those papers, just they fail because they're not meeting the assignment requirements. Anyhow, that's the only thing I asked you to do that's not MLA. So let's go ahead and, whoops, we'll leave the title there, because you'll come up with a fun title for it. We're going to delete all this stuff. All right, now this is the last thing I wanted to show you. These citations are out of date and from old MLA, so that's not a good template to use. A lot of the other module materials this week are devoted to showing you how to create proper MLA citations on the works cited page and in-text citations in the body of the paper. But I'm just going to help you set up the place where you're going to put them. Okay, works cited always starts at the top of the last page of the paper. So to accomplish that, we just click Insert, Break, Page Break. Now I can type whatever I want up here, and works cited will always be on the last page. That's about all I've got. You've now got an MLA formatted paper in either Google Docs or Microsoft Word. So start writing if you haven't already, and check out the rest of this week's module materials. Take care, and I'll see you in the next video.